My name's Shaun Gabriel. I'm the CTO at StudyIn's. I've been there just over a year now. I've come to Zoholics today in Birmingham to build relationships, speak to people, understand what they're doing. The company's role is to bring international students and match their ambitions and desires to a university, typically in the UK, Australia, Canada, New Zealand, and some to the US. We have about 100 offices around the world, and that's growing continuously as the markets open up. And we've got an ever-growing number of students that really want to travel. Universities are growing and diversifying across the world as well, and they have a thirst to make sure we give them great students that are helping develop their careers. So at the moment we have about 1,800 employees. We also work with 6,000 partner companies on a daily basis as well. When I joined the business just over a year ago, the first job really was to identify what we had today, work out whether it was fit for purpose, whether we developed that further. The product we use today has been an in-house built custom CRM. Whilst it served its purpose quite well, it hasn't evolved with the business need over that time. So really, it was established at that point, is there an ROI on investing in the current platform? Or do we diversify and head towards something more built off the shelf? It became clear really quickly that there wasn't an ROI on investing in what we had today. Continual debt, continual maintenance, continual change. Business is changing ever faster, needs are moving faster. So that led us to look for a product that could begin to support that need. Yeah, and then we found Zoho. Of course, we looked at all the market. One of the key drivers for Zoho really when we look at it is across the world, there's a suite of apps you want to build your business. Not everybody has that, or it becomes a disjointed solution. Whereas with Zoho, we can get all of those apps together, which really helps solve our need across the world in those different countries. So bringing everything in one place gave us that cohesive view of the data. We're going to be heavily using CRM. On top of that, we think we'll be using Sign, Contracts, Click, Desk, Books, Analytics. We're going to be using Meeting, Creator. We're going to be heavily using the Zoho APIs. We'll be running a couple of our own customer-facing portals over the top of Zoho. Phase 1, I think it's 32 of the 55 apps. And we can see scope to add another 8 or 9 there in Phase 2. Phase 3, potentially we might go even further. I'm not including our marketing at this stage, but we can see that we'll be moving that one across in Phase 3 as well. Signed up for Zoho One as a bundle, and we've gone with the all-employee license. So every single employee in the business has access to all the Zoho One tools. Oh, I shouldn't forget Zoho Vault. We've already rolled that out to our users to make sure we've got password security, not just for Zoho, but for all the apps they use. Because of the scale of what we're doing and the complexity of what we're doing, the first thing we did when kind of selecting Zoho, if you like, was we actually spent 8 weeks running a POC. So we worked with a partner just to prove out some of the complex areas that we thought we wanted, some of the automations we wanted, and to grow our learning so we can make a valid assessment. After that assessment was then really saying, yes, we want to move forward, got the funding, which is always great. That's probably one of the easiest funding rounds I've had due to the great price point of Zoho actually. Way easier than it would have been with any other product, where you're assembling maybe 100 different pricing models. In terms of our journey, we then appointed a partner to work with. For something this scale, at this stage, in-house didn't make sense. It makes sense to work with a partner. So I went through a number of partners, spoke with Zoho directly as well in terms of our needs. We've selected the partner. We've now spent just over 3,500 hours with that partner across our teams, making sure we've got our 2B process nailed down. We're nearly there, we're just in the final review rounds, a couple of tweaks. At the same time, our partner's been working on technical design. My technical teams have been working with our partner to understand where our integration points are. So we're also building internally those portals and other tooling that are going to have interfacing points with Zoho. So as much as we're still at the design phase, we've taken some early moves to prepare for the implementation. Not long after we assigned our partner, I had a key account manager assigned to me from Zoho, who's been excellent in terms of support, but actually introduced me to the wider Zoho ecosystem as well. So whilst I have someone local in the UK, he's also introduced me to a number of people on product teams from within Zoho, and a way to really get to the root cause of some of those questions. So in a recent example, there was a requirement that may have needed me to look elsewhere. Carl's put me in touch with the relevant people within Zoho and on the Zoho product teams to explore a little bit further, not just about what's capable today. The reality is my launch timeline is probably 9 to 12 months out, but where those products are likely to be in 9 to 12 months time. And in some cases, that's meant that what possibly was a bit of a problem today isn't going to be a problem by the time that comes around. So having that connection to the future product development through my key account manager has given us the confidence in some cases to wait, or in other cases to proceed with where we need to. The next year is going to be obviously a very busy year. I can already see a lot of the benefits we're going to gain as a business, both in terms of information, accuracy, process, kind of enforcement in some ways. I'd love to come back and tell you about the reality of it in about a year's time.